Hello guys, welcome to Everything Smartphone. In this video, I'm going to present the best smartphone in 2020 which cost just under $500. So without further ado, let's get started. Vivo X30 Pro is available in the market from December 2019. The phone got a 6.44-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display and a resolution of 1080 x 2400 pixels with an aspect ratio of 20:9, and the display supports under-display fingerprint unlock. The Vivo X30 Pro has installed 8nm Exynos 980 processor for its performance with integrated GPU Mali G76 MP5. It has 8GB of RAM with 128GB or 256GB of internal storage respectively, and the phone does not have any slot for placing any microSD card. For the main camera option of this smartphone, it has quad camera setup on the back side, starting with 64MP main shooter with f1.8 aperture and the 13MP periscope telephoto lens with f3.0 aperture and the 32MP telephoto lens with f2.0 aperture, and the fourth camera is 8MP ultra-wide sensor lens with f2.2 aperture. On the front side, it has 32MP selfie camera with f2.4 aperture. Vivo X30 Pro operates Android 9 Pie Fantas 10.0 operating system. As for the battery, it has 4350 mAh non-removable battery with 33W fast battery charging support. The phone available in 3 color variant and its weighs about 198.5 gram. Realme X50 Pro 5G announced in February 2020. The phone got a 6.44-inch 90Hz Super AMOLED display and a resolution of 1080 x 2400 pixels with an aspect ratio of 20:9. And it is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. The Realme X50 Pro 5G has installed 7nm plus Snapdragon 865 processor for its performance, with integrated powerful GPU Adreno 650. It has 6GB, 8GB or 12GB of RAM with 128GB or 256GB of UFS 3.0 internal storage respectively. This phone does not have any slot for placing a microSD card. For the main camera option of this smartphone, it has quad camera setup on the back side. It has 64MP main shooter with f1.8 aperture and the 12MP telephoto lens with f2.5 aperture and the 8MP ultra-wide lens with f2.3 aperture, and the fourth camera is 2MP black and white depth sensor lens. The back camera features LED flash, SDR panorama, gyro EIS etc. And this camera can record 4K video at 30 frames per second and 1080p video at 60 frames per second. On the front side, it has dual camera setup. It has 32MP selfie camera with f2.5 aperture and the 8MP selfie camera with f2.2 aperture. Realme X50 Pro 5G operates Android 10 Realme UI 1.0 operating system. As for the battery, it has 4200 mAh non-removable battery with 65W super fast battery charging support. The phone available in 2 color variant, moss green, rust red, and it weighs about 207 gram. TCL 10 Pro is available in the market from May 2020. The phone got a 6.47-inch AMOLED touchscreen display and a resolution of 1080 x 2340 pixels with an aspect ratio of 19.5:9. The TCL 10 Pro has installed 7nm Snapdragon 675 processor for its performance with integrated GPU Adreno 612. It has 6GB of RAM with 128GB of internal storage. The phone supports an expansion of memory via a microSD card slot. For the main camera option of this smartphone, it has quad camera setup on the back side, starting with 64MP main shooter with f1.8 aperture and the 16MP ultra-wide lens with f2.4 aperture and the 5MP macro sensor lens with f2.2 aperture, and the fourth camera is 2MP depth sensor lens with f2.4 aperture. On the front side, it has 24MP selfie camera with f2.0 aperture. TCL Pro operates Android 10 and TCL UI operating system. As for the battery, it has 4500 mAh non-removable battery with 18W fast battery charging support. The phone available in 2 color variant and it weighs about 177 gram. Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro is a rebranded Poco version of Redmi X30 Pro. The set-top supported 4G frequencies as the changes and at the same time it has 5G and the most powerful hardware, the impressive cooling system and a very good set of cameras, and just started from $499. Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro available in the market from May 2020. The phone got a 6.67-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display and a resolution of 1080 x 2400 pixels with an aspect ratio of 20:9, and it is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and it has under-display fingerprint sensor as well. The Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro has installed 7nm Snapdragon 865 processor for its performance with integrated powerful GPU Adreno 650. It has 8GB or 6GB of RAM with 128GB or 256GB of internal storage respectively. Unfortunately, this phone does not have any slot for placing a microSD card. For the main camera option, it has 4 camera setup on the back, starting with 64MP main shooter and the 5MP telephoto macro lens and the 13MP ultra-wide lens, and the 4th camera is 2MP main shooter. Back camera is able to shoot 960 frames per second slow motion video at 1080p resolution. On the front side, it has motorized pop-up 20MP selfie camera with f2.4 aperture. Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro operates Android 10 MIUI 11 operating system. As for the battery, it has 4700 mAh non-removable battery with 30W fast charging support. And the phone is available in 3 color variant: grey, purple and white, and it weighs about 219 grams. Samsung Galaxy A51 5G is almost a copy of Samsung Galaxy A51 smartphone, which is announced in December 2019. Only difference is it comes with latest 5G networks, and the other hardware is elegantly Exynos 980 processor and slightly large size and weight. Otherwise, everything seems to be identical, and cameras, screen, memory, battery are the almost same. Samsung Galaxy A51 5G is available in the market from April 2020. The phone got a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display and resolution of 1080 x 2400 pixels with an aspect ratio of 20:9, and it is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Also, the display support under-display fingerprint unlock. The Samsung Galaxy A51 5G has installed 8nm Exynos 980 processor for its performance with integrated powerful GPU Mali G76MP5. It has 6GB or 8GB of RAM with 128GB of internal storage respectively. The phone supports an expansion of memory via a microSD card. For the main camera option of this smartphone, it has quad camera setup on the back side, starting with 48MP main shooter with f2.0 aperture and the 12MP ultra-wide lens with f2.2 aperture, 5MP macro lens with f2.4 aperture, and the 4th camera is 5MP depth sensor lens with f2.2 aperture. On the front side, it has 32MP selfie camera with f2.2 aperture. Samsung Galaxy A51 5G operates Android 10 One UI 2 operating system. As for the battery, it has 4500 mAh non-removable battery with 15W fast battery charging support, and the phone is available in 3 color variant, and it weighs about 183 grams.